looking to connect a region of over 600 million bridges between our lands.
Hello and welcome to ASEAN in Focus. I'm Maricar Velasco, delivering to you the latest news in and around the ASEAN region. On today's headlines, the Office of the Solicitor General will no longer file a motion for reconsideration before Branch 148 of the Makati Regional Trial Court on its resolution that denied the government's motion for an arrest warrant against opposition Senator Antonio Trillanes IV. Vietnam lawmakers on Tuesday elected as President Communist Party Chief Nguyen Phu Trong the only candidate on the ballot, making him the most powerful man in the country, where consensus leadership has traditionally kept strongman rule in check. And the Philippines reopens its crown jewel resort island Boracay to holidaymakers on Friday, after a 6-month cleanup aimed at repairing the damage inflicted by years of unrestrained vast tourism. The Office of the Solicitor General will no longer file a motion for reconsideration before Branch 148 of the Makati Regional Trial Court on its resolution that denied the government's motion for an arrest warrant against opposition Senator Antonio Trillanes IV. Instead, Solicitor General Jose Calida will go straight to the Court of Appeals to question the ruling of Makati RTC Branch 148 Judge Andres Soriano, according to Malacanang. Presidential spokesperson and Chief Presidential Legal Counsel Salvador Panelo, Calida will not file a motion for reconsideration but go immediately to the Court of Appeals and appeal the ruling of the court with respect to non-issuance of warrant of arrest. Panelo said that he had gone over the decision of Makati Judge Soriano and found errors in the court's ruling. Panelo said the Solicitor General is already preparing the petition to be filed. When asked when this would be filed with the Court of Appeals, he said very soon. Panelo said that while the Makati RTC ruled that President Rodrigo Duterte's Proclamation number 572 that voided Trillanes' amnesty grant was valid, he found it erroneous that the court accepted secondary evidence and on that basis denied the government's motion for an arrest warrant against the senator.
I've talked with Solgen, and he said he will not file a motion for reconsideration, but go immediately to the Court of Appeals and appeal the ruling of the court with respect to the issuance or non-issuance of the warrant of arrest. There are procedural matters decided by the court which, to my mind, are erroneous. How it accepted evidence despite the fact that they were all secondary evidence. So there are questions that can be properly raised in the Court of Appeals and subsequently to the Supreme Court.
President Rodrigo Duterte honored security forces killed in separate clashes with the New People's Army or NPA in Camarines Sur and Camarines Norte last week as he conferred the Order of Lapu-Lapu with the rank of Kalasag to the 3 policemen killed in the ambush. The president arrived on Tuesday, October 23 at the Camarines Sur Police Provincial Office to visit the wake of PO1 Ralph Jason Vida, one of the 3 policemen who died during an ambush by the NPA in Lupi, Camarines Sur on the convoy of Food and Drug Administration Chief Director General Nela Charade Puno last October 18. He met with the spouses of the 2 other slain policemen, PO3 Carlito Navarroza and SPO1 Percival Rafael. The cops were awarded the Order of Lapu-Lapu, which the president handed over to their wives. Duterte also visited the 5 wounded police officers who were part of the police escort for the FDA convoy. The president conferred on them the Order of Lapu-Lapu with the rank of Kampilan. Such award is given to individuals for their extraordinary acts of service in pursuing the advocacy and campaign of the president. Vietnam lawmakers on Tuesday elected as president Communist Party chief Nguyen Phu Trong, the only candidate on the ballot, making him the most powerful man in the country where consensus leadership has traditionally kept strongman rule in check. Trong was ushered into his new role as head of state with 99.8% of the vote from Vietnam's rubber stamp parliament members a month after the former president died from a prolonged illness. Though the president's role is seen as largely ceremonial, 74-year-old Trong will maintain his position as party head, the first person to hold both roles since revolutionary leader Ho Chi Minh in the late 1960s. His new position was cemented in a tightly orchestrated swearing-in ceremony on Tuesday after an overwhelming vote from 477 lawmakers with only one vote against, according to the government's website. Malaysia's new leader Mahathir Mohamad meets his Thai counterpart late Wednesday in his first visit to his northern neighbor as hopes rise that he can help prospect for peace in Thailand's violence-scarred south. Thailand's mainly Muslim southern region bordering Malaysia has been in the grips of a low-level but bloody insurgency for more than a decade, as ethnic Malay militants battle the Buddhist majority state for greater autonomy. The insurgency has seen almost 7,000 people, mostly civilians, killed since 2004, although the death toll in 2017 was the lowest in 13 years amid a tighter security operation. Malaysia has long acted as a facilitator for brokering peace talks between the Thai government and Mara Patani, an umbrella group that claims to be a political wing representing the shadowy network of rebel fighters clashing with the state forces. However, the talks have stalled in the past year, and both countries recently appointed new representatives to lead the delicate negotiation process. Mahathir's visit is expected to add momentum to the southern Thailand peace dialogue process, Malaysia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said Tuesday. On Wednesday, 93-year-old Mahathir will meet with junta head Prayut Chan-o-cha before a joint press conference.
Visiting the Philippines, Manila or Quezon City is a popular destination. But oftentimes the hustle and bustle of the city can be more stressful on your vacation. So when you feel the need to reconnect to nature or relax again, there's a beautiful oasis just outside of the city called the Garden at Ciudad de Victoria. Some of the species that you can see here include hydrangea, snapdragon, and stargazers. They're truly beautiful. The gardens at Ciudad de Victoria are so peaceful, tranquil, and beautiful that it's become a haven for young couples and a very popular venue for engagement photos. The next time you want an escape from the big city, the garden at Ciudad de Victoria is a wonderful place to visit.
Welcome back. British electric appliance pioneer Dyson said Tuesday it had picked Singapore as the site for its first electric car plant, sparking criticism of the company's Brexit-backing billionaire founder for not investing more in British manufacturing. Dyson, founded and owned by serial entrepreneur James Dyson, said the factory was scheduled for completion in 2020 as part of a £2.5 billion or $3.3 billion global investment drive in new technology. The company, best known for its cordless vacuum cleaners, hand dryers and fans, is aiming to launch electric vehicles in 2021. Dyson Chief Executive Jim Rowan said the decision of where to make their car is complex based on supply chains, access to markets, and the availability of the expertise that will help them achieve their ambitions. Rowan said their existing footprint and team in Singapore, combined with the nation's significant advanced manufacturing expertise, made it a front runner. Singapore also offers access to high-growth markets as well as an extensive supply chain and a highly skilled workforce. He also added that Singapore has a comparatively high-cost base, however also great technology expertise and focus. It is therefore the right place to make high-quality technology-loaded machines and the right place to make their electric vehicle. The company already has production facilities in Malaysia and Singapore. Test flights of a driverless hover taxi will take place in Singapore next year. A German aviation firm said the latest innovation to offer an escape from Asia's monster traffic jams. Millions of commuters in the region's cities have to contented with chronic gridlock every day, sparking a rare to develop new ways to avoid snarl-ups. While the developed city-state of Singapore does not suffer major congestion, it is seen as a perfect test bed for new technologies due to its compact size and openness to innovation. German firm Volocopter said Tuesday it will conduct the test flights in Singapore in the second half of next year with the support of the government. Resembling a helicopter, Volocopter's electric air taxis take off and land vertically. They are based on drone technology and can fly 2 people for around 30 kilometers or 19 miles, the firm said in a statement. The Singapore tests follow a public demonstration in Dubai last year. Volocopter says the Volocopter is designed specifically for inner-city missions, adding it can withstand minor turbulence around skyscrapers, allowing for smooth rides. It adds it is so quiet that a flight height of 100 meters or 330 feet, it cannot be heard over the typical background noise of a city. A company spokeswoman said the Volocopter can be controlled by a pilot using a joystick or remotely from the ground. Apart from the test flights, Volocopter will also set up a product design and engineering center in Singapore to support expansion plans. Volocopter said they are getting ready to roll out of their first fixed routes in the city. The hover taxis will complement helicopter hailing services, which are already taking off in some cities to beat traffic jams. The city will raise its minimum wage by 8.03%. as it has been mandated by a government regulation. Jakarta Wage Council member Sarman Simarang Jorang said on Tuesday the wage would increase from 3.6 million or $237 at present to above Rp 3.9 million next year. The increase was in accordance with government regulation number 78/2015 on wages. The minimum wage amount, Sarman added, would be enough to fulfill an inexperienced worker's needs. The annual raise is aimed at ensuring the well-being of newcomers in the world of work.
Events happen around us all the time, in our community, in our country, around the world. Events that affect people, move communities, or simply inspire us. Interesting events that people need to know. In these interesting times, we continue to be a competent partner in delivering news about these events. Fast, accurate, balanced, eager news, because we live in interesting times.
Hey Net25 kids, I'm James Reyes, the comic book artist and the host of the show, Time to Draw, coming soon to Net25. Join kids around the world as they learn how to draw along with me. Join the fun and remember, there is always time to draw. See you all soon, and I am one with 25.
Time to draw a line!
Welcome back. Several hefty buffaloes thundered down a dirt track in eastern Thailand, kicking up dust as they are urged toward the finish line by whip-wielding jockeys perched on their backs. It's a display of strength and agility from the riders who risk life and limb in their bid for glory and a top prize of 8,000 baht or $240. The race is the highlight of the annual week-long Buffalo Festival held in the coastal town of Chonburi, which is now into its 147th year. Buffalo trainer Pongsak Kangern, 44, has entered 2 of his animals into the contest. He said he has trained them for months and he is confident that one of them will win. The decades-old tradition started as a way for farmers to blow off steam during the slow moments of an arduous rice planting season, and over time many superstitions developed around it. If a buffalo fell sick, for example, farmers would pray to the spirits of their ancestors to heal it. If the animal recovered, a race would be offered in thanks. On Tuesday, some 500 buffaloes were competing. There are many youngsters attending and a lot of people are interested in the event. This according to Mayor Chutarut Parin Wachirapud said on the crowds, which numbered in the thousands at the festival.
เหมือนถ้าเราเป็นเด็กใหม่มันก็เหมือนตื่นเต้นนี้เราเหมือนเก่าแล้วอะเราเหมือนว่าเราขี่เก่าแล้วก็ธรรมดาเพราะมาทุกปีมันยากคือเราอยู่พลังไฟครับไฟยังวิ่งครับมันเหมือนขี่รถครับแต่มันยากกว่าคือนี้มันดิ้นได้ครับ
Now for some good news. The Philippines reopens its Crown Jewel Resort Island Boracay to holidaymakers on Friday. This after a 6-month cleanup aimed at repairing the damage inflicted by years of unrestrained mass tourism. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte ordered the island shuttered in April for a major effort to fortify a weak infrastructure and crack down on the rampant overdevelopment that had left it what he termed as cesspool. When the government throws open the doors, Boracay will have fewer hotels and restaurants, a cap on the number of visitors, and anti-beach boozing rules aimed at taming its party-hard reputation. All of this is intended to protect the bruised beauty of the island's turquoise waters and expanses of white sand beaches, which were being loved to death by 2 million tourists per year. Tourism Secretary Bernadette Romulo Puyat said she hopes the new Boracay will be the start of a culture of sustainable tourism in the Philippines, adding other tourist destinations will be next year. She said it means taking account of the repercussions of their actions on current and future situations of the environment. Romulo Puyat said she has sent a written warning to other top Philippine tourist draws, including El Nido and Panglao Islands, while others such as the whale shark feeding site of Oslo have cut its tourist arrivals by half. Boracay, which major tourist magazines consistently rate as among the world's best beaches, is a mere 1,000 hectares or 2,470 acres. And that is the latest news in the Southeast Asian nations. Stay updated about the ASEAN region. I'm Maricar Velasco and I am 1 with 25.
Hey Net25 kids, when I was a kid, I drew everything from cartoons to comic books, and that's why I became a comic book artist and illustrator. I worked on titles like Incredible Hulk, Wonder Woman, and now I'm teaching kids all around the world. So join me, James Reyes, that's me, on my show Time to Draw Live, coming soon to Net25.
Time to draw live.
Join the EBC Family Fun Run, November 18, 2018, at the Ciudad de Victoria Complex, Bulacan. Choose from race categories: 1.062 kilometer, 2.5 kilometers, 5 kilometers, and 9.55 kilometers. Registration is ongoing. For more details, log on to www.eaglenews.ph/EBC Fun Run or call 784-7450, local 1162. You may also visit www.facebook.com/EBC Fun Run. EBC Family Fun Run.